$220 million of your money spent on TV ads that just happened to feature Kristi Noem's face prominently. And when a Republican senator asked her about it, watch what happened.
How do you square that concern for waste, which I share, with the fact that you have spent $220 million running television advertisements that feature you prominently?
Sir, the president tasked me with getting the message out to the country and to other countries where we were seeing the invasion come from, with putting commercials out that told them that if they were in this country illegally, that they needed to leave, or we would detain them and remove them, and they'd not get the chance to come back to America the right way. That has been extremely effective.
Ask you to run these advertisements, is that right?
We had that conversation, yes, before I was put in this position and sworn in and confirmed, and since then as well.
Okay. Did you bid out those service contracts?
Yes, they did. They went out to a competitive bid, and career officials at the department chose who would do those advertising commercials.
And the people that you ended up picking were people who had formerly done your political work back in South Dakota, is that right?
No, that's not correct, sir.
I think it is.
No, it's not, sir. The individuals who, I believe the careers who they chose were two different media firms.
Did you catch that? She didn't flinch. She didn't apologize. She sat there and said it was extremely effective. Effective at what, exactly? Effective at making Kristi Noem famous? Because that's what $220 million of taxpayer money just bought. A personal brand campaign for the Secretary of Homeland Security. And I need you to understand, this is not a Democrat asking these questions. This is Senator John Kennedy, a Republican on the same side. And even he couldn't let this slide. Here's the background. Noem came into DH, and one of the first things she did was brag about saving taxpayers $13 billion by cutting wasteful contracts. Standing ovation, right? Fiscal responsibility, right? Except, at the exact same time she was cutting contracts, she was quietly signing off on $220 million in TV ad deals. And who got those contracts? A company called Safe America Media, formed 11 days before they were picked. 11 days old. Oh, and the head of the other firm, the Strategy Group, which got most of the money, he's married to Noem's former spokesperson. But sure, totally above board, totally competitive bid.
Did you bid out those service contracts?
Yes, they did. They went out to a competitive bid, and career officials at the department chose who would do those advertising commercials.
And the people that you ended up picking were people who had formerly done your political work back in South Dakota, is that right?
No, that's not correct, sir.
I think it is.
No, it's not, sir. The individuals who, I believe the careers who they chose were two different media firms. There's been conversation about their subcontractors, but we have no legal authority to look into subcontractors on work like that.
Okay. And you're saying that you're testifying that President Trump approved this ahead of time. Is that my understanding?
We had conversations about making sure that we were telling people.
No, ma'am. I'm asking you, sorry to interrupt, but the president approved ahead of time you spending $220 million running TV ads across the country in which you are featured prominently.
Yes, sir. We went through the legal processes, did it correctly.
Did the president know you were going to do
OMB.
this?
Yes.
He did?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Watch how she answers. She says career officials chose the contractors. She had nothing to do with it. Okay, fine. But Kennedy isn't done. Because here's the thing. Even if career officials ran the bid, you ended up with a company that's 11 days old and a firm run by your friend's husband. That's either the worst coincidence in government history or something is seriously wrong here. And Kennedy sees it. He's sitting there going, I'm on the Appropriations Committee. We are fighting over pennies in these budget negotiations. And you just spent $250 million on ads with your face in them. The audacity.
And one thing, Senator, I think would be helpful to know is how effective that communications has been. That
Well, they were
overwhelmingly
effective in your name recognition. I mean, I personally just, I mean, to me, it puts the president in a terribly awkward spot. And and I'm not saying you're not telling the truth. It's just hard for me to believe, knowing the president, as I do, that you said, Mr. President, here's some ads I've cut, and I'm going to spend $220 million running them, that he would have agreed to that. I don't think Russ Vought at OMB would have agreed to that. It's something we have to defend. I'm on the Appropriations Committee. My research shows that you did not bid them out, that you pick, in fact, one of the people you picked, the strategy group,
This is the moment. Even Kennedy, who opened by congratulating her on border success, even he is saying out loud, I don't believe you. He's not calling her a liar directly. He's a senator. He's careful with words. But what he's saying is, there is no way Trump sat down and said, yes, Kristi, spend $220 million putting your face on TV. No way. And she just doubles down. Yes, he did. We went through the legal process. It was effective. Girl, you were spending taxpayer money on your personal PR campaign and calling it border security.
What got my attention was that you blamed those statements on Mr. Stephen Miller at the White House. Did you not?
No, sir, I did not. And in fact, where you're seeing that is in a news article of anonymous sources. And anonymous sources say a lot of things, but I've never said that at all.
Well, here's what you said on the record. I'm going to read your words. Quote, everything I've done at the direction of the president and Stephen.
Sir, where did you see me say that at? You read that in a news article with no sources affiliated to it.
You said it on the record on January 27th of 2026. Did I read your words accurate?
I enjoy working with the president and with Stephen Miller, and that day we were working to get as much information to the American people as possible. That is what we'll continue to do, and as that happens, we'll go forward.
Do you think it was fair to blame Mr. Miller?
Sir, I did not do that. You're reading from a newspaper article with anonymous sources.
Are you denying that you said that?
Sir, I'm not going to speak to that situation that is relayed on anonymous sources that no one has heard me say that.
It was you.
No. Who reported that to that newspaper?
They're quoting you on the record, saying it's Stephen's fault.
And then, it gets better. Kennedy brings up the Minneapolis killings. Noem had gone out publicly and called them acts of domestic terrorism. She got destroyed for it. Blowback came hard. And according to a January 27th news article, she pointed the finger at Stephen Miller, said she was acting on his direction. Kennedy reads her own words back to her. Everything I've done at the direction of the president. And she goes, sir, I don't know where you're reading that from. From the newspaper, Kristi, from a newspaper with your name on it. She didn't deny saying it. She didn't say that quote is wrong. She said, I won't speak to anonymous sources, which is Washington speak for, I said it and I'm not confirming it. So to recap, she spent $220 million on ads featuring herself, possibly steered contracts to political allies, blamed a colleague when things went wrong, and then denied all of it under oath. Here's what's wild to me. This isn't the opposition coming after her. This is her own party. A Republican senator in a Republican-controlled Senate looking her in the eye and saying, I don't believe you. I can't defend this. When you've lost Kennedy, you've lost the room. $220 million. Remember that number. Because that's how much it costs to do border security when the real product being sold is Kristi Noem.